Hello everyone, a very warm day to you. I hope your day has been going great. I'm your humble host, Bianca Usoro. It's that time of the show, Citizens Dialogue on First Next News Protocol, where we discuss trending and interesting political topics. Joining me on set to have this conversation is King Sojalo. Sit back, relax, and enjoy all we have for you on this beautiful segment. It's a pleasure having you on set,
Thank you so much,
King.
Becky.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
It's a beautiful day.
Of course.
Great to hear. Okay, so let's head straight to the story for today. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, has called on the people of Southeast to use dialogue and peaceful means to tackle the recent imprisonment of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
She said, though the court, of course, has given has sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to imprisonment, all hope is not lost, yes. Saying with dialogue and peaceful means, Nnamdi Kanu could be released. She's also urging the people of Imo State to come together, plan themselves, and see how they can move for a peaceful means to settle this matter. They should plan to meet with the president and amicably resolve this matter rather than going, it's not your cause for violence. What do you have to say to that story? Do you agree?
It's a good advice from the Minister of State Affairs, because, violence is not always the answer to any situation.
Yeah.
Rather, it increases the rate of commotion and bringing to anarchy in a particular region of the country. So she has really said well, you understand, and I think it's also a medium for the Easterners to also, sit and, akin to her advice. She said using of dialogue in order to be able to bring, make a release of the IPOB leader who is now in prison, who is now in custody. We could recall that the IPOB leader was sentenced to life imprisonment by the Justice Omotosho at the Supreme High Court in Abuja, I think weeks before now. So he has passed his judgment. I think that is the work
that's
of
not the end of
that
it.
Is not the end of it. That is what she's trying to portray.
Yeah.
So to every Easterners out there who is seeking who is trying to use this medium to raise anger and violence, in the present situation of Nnamdi Kanu, I think they should really have a rethink over it, because this is a good one coming from the Minister Bianca Ojukwu, because she is someone who has really, come out and make a good outspoken word to the Easterners. A lot of, we could see the lives of so many leaders, so many senators and thereabout, people who are trying to say, oh, it's going to bring problem, criticizing the government. It is not the time for criticisms. Just as she said, it's a time whereby senators, whereby governors should be able to come together and find a peaceful way of resolving the situation of Nnamdi Kanu. Despite he has been sentenced, all hope is not lost, just as he has said. It's a time whereby dialogue should be put in place, measures should be carried out, and bring about how to seek the presence of the federal government in order to to carry out his release as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The federal government has banned open grazing by cattle rearers in Nigeria as part of efforts to end the constant farmers to herders conflict. Minister of Livestock Development Alhaji Mukhtar Meha announced this on Tuesday during inauguration of the first National Council on Livestock Development in Yola, Adamawa State. According to the minister, the ongoing farmers to herders clashes have resulted in loss of lives, destruction of property, and displacement of thousands of Nigerians. He further said that open grazing is now considered a capital offense, urging cattle rearers to embrace ranching as a safer and more profitable method. Do you really think this open grazing is really what we'll need? I'll bring peace when it comes to security?
Now, in that aspect, we could see that the federal government have really implemented this law, and it has been something that our Senate have been trying to implement for a long period of time. And I believe if this implementation has taken place for a long time, the menace happening in our society right now wouldn't have taken this shape, wouldn't have gone this far. You understand? There are those, who are rearing cattle legitimately, that is in the proper way. There are those who are using this medium to take some drastic and dirty acts in our society today. I'm talking about those who are using cattle rearing to be able to cause menace in some society, you understand, which has brought about herders and a farmer clash, herders, headsmen going into communities and society, causing mayhem to innocent people. And there are also those who are doing this in an inappropriate way. I'm talking about, okay, we are in a civilized society, for crying out loud, and we could see where herders take their cattle going around the street, causing messes on the street with all of that, despite several warnings. So making it as an offense right now is a good one from the Senate, and is also a medium, is also an urging, is also what we should urge the Senate to also implement laws on how to teach these people how to go about with their educate them on how to carry about rearing their cattle appropriately. You understand? And also the federal government should create venues for them in different locations whereby they could read this peacefully. Thank you so much.
Yes. It's still the show, Citizens Dialogue on First News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usoro. Let's go for a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the show, Citizens Dialogue on First News Port Harcourt. I hope you're having a great time with us. I am Becky Usoro. Still here with me on the show, it's King Tajalo. Okay, Kings, the Senate yesterday has declared Moore's death penalty for kidnapping, declares it now demand act of terrorism. Yesterday, they took some key security decisions, including declaring kidnapping a form of terrorism and recommending the death penalty for offenders without the option of fine or judicial discretion to reduce the punishment. This followed hours of tense, deliberation, of course, over escalating insecurity in Kwara, KB, Niger. Of course, we know what happened, have happened in the country for the past few weeks now, and neighboring states triggered by November 18 attack on Christ Apostolic Church in Ojukwu, Ekiti local government area, where 2 worshippers were killed and about 38, abducted, though they actually released. The Senate resolution followed a debate on a motion titled "Urgent Need to Address Escalating Insecurity in Kwara, KB, and Niger states and Strengthen National Security Frameworks," moved by Senator Oyelola Ashiru, representing Kwara South Senatorial District. Do you think this is a good move from the Senate House? Of course, I know this is what Nigerians have been expecting.
It is a good one, which from the Senate, which they moved the death penalty for kidnapping and declare it now, an act of terrorism. It's a good one, you understand? And
so anybody that kidnapped now straight?
Of course, this is something that would have been implemented a long time ago, by the Senate, and I believe which would have caused, which would have brought the reduction or of kidnapping and all this act happening in the country. We could see the menace happening, kidnapping of girls in Kelby, church members in Kwara State, and other, farmers in places like Borno. I believe when such thing would have been implemented a long time ago, this menace happening wouldn't have taken this shape.
Do you think so?
Yeah, of course, because
why do you say so?
Of course, when such penalty is given, such sentence is given to kidnappers. When they arrest, he hears it. Definitely, they will want to withdraw, because if it was implemented, indeed, they will want to withdraw from their evil and dirty acts. Okay, look at the rate at which kidnapping is really affecting our society today. It's becoming so rampant. You understand? It's now a daily update in each news being heard in the country right now. Okay, and this has really caused so many chaos in terms of foreign investment. It has really caused devastation in the lives of so many citizens, bringing instability in the society, and it has driven a whole lot of people from their household. You understand? Displaced people everywhere. Because why? Of the rate at which kidnapping has taken shape in the society today. So it's a good one from the Senate, and it should be implemented, not just said, not just passed into law. It should be implemented. Even those sponsoring these so-called kidnappers should also face the law as well, because in most cases, someone is told to do this, and the person who takes the act is being persecuted. What about those who have sent such person to carry such act? They can't be spared for it, because if those who have taken the act are persecuted, the sponsors indeed will definitely look for other means to carry out this dirty act. So it's not just for those who have been caught. It should also be implemented to those who are sponsoring it, because we must accept the fact that there are sponsors everywhere. There are people who are, you know, who are assigning those to carry on
allegedly.
So, okay, allegedly. Yeah. So it's meant for the government to make it a round figure for every perpetrators of such acts. So it's a good one, and I also urge the security armed forces to also, you know, stand fit and carry their obligations steadily without relenting, because without the security forces taking their mandatory effort on this bills that will be passed into law, definitely these bills will go nowhere. So it's a good one from the Senate, and I also urge them to implement it as soon as possible, so that the menace happening in this country will come to an end.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you on Jalo.
Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, everyone. That's our show for today. Citizens Dialogue on First National Sport Accord. I am Becky Osoro. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.